Welcome to our video on color psychology by
Rainey Small, Ariana Dixon,
and Jelani Abraham. Color psychology is an emerging area of psychological study. It focuses mainly on the correlation between colors and one's mood and mental state. Psychologists have been studying the effects of color on human behavior because knowledge in this area can significantly improve things such as advertisement, therapy sessions, and classroom learning. The purpose of this study is to observe people's interactions with strangers based on the color of their clothing. For this study, researchers will conduct a quantitative observational study focusing on how different colored clothing will affect total interaction time with strangers. Researchers believe that participants wearing outfits that are either blue, yellow, or white will have longer interactions with strangers. Outfits that are either black or red will have shorter interactions. Also, strangers who are approached by women will have longer conversations. So, what exactly is color? Color is an aspect of human visual perception that stems from cone cell stimulation in the eye caused by varying degrees of light being reflected. How does color relate to psychology? There has been a lot of research done on all areas of color psychology, but in this video we'll be focusing on research literature related to our research question: how does color affect social interactions? The way people perceive colors often determines how they will interact with others. According to the 2014 Annual Review of Psychology written by Andrew J. Elliott and Marcus A. Mayer, colors usually have multiple significant meanings, and these meanings can change depending on the situation. Let's take a look at the color red. Red is hypothesized to have a negative meaning, such as seeing a red F on a test, as well as aversive implications, especially avoidance motivation in danger contexts. However, red is also hypothesized to have a positive meaning and appetitive implications in mating contexts. For instance, if a red dress is worn on a date, it may carry sexual meaning between the two people on the date. Being that color is an environmental cue, according to researchers, they can directly affect the processing of information. Nonetheless, colors do have a basic identifiable significance and effect. For instance, the color red is often associated with dominance and provides an exciting, stimulating effect. It shares both positive and negative connotations, such as passionate, active, warm, rage, bloody, aggressive, to list a few. Meanwhile, the color green provides a relaxing effect. It too has positive and negative connotations, including natural, quiet, refreshing, guilt, and tiredness. The relationship between color and emotion is associated with color preferences. Some colors have been found to be highly preferred by certain ages, racial groups, or cultures. According to the journal written on the relationship between color and emotion by Naz Kaya and Helen H. Epps, a study in 1968 conducted by Chungorian discovered that Americans preferred the colors red and blue more than other colors. Yet these two colors were less preferred in other cultures. In comparison, a study done in 1996 by Sato focused on Japanese and Korean subjects, which revealed that there were unique color preference tendencies between the two countries, and even more so with respect to age, gender, and geographical region within the countries. Ultimately, colors can suggest different meanings to various people, and this can be reflected in their interactions with others. The findings on colors' impact on emotions has been used to determine designs of fashion and even environmental related issues, but our focus here is color's impact on social interactions. In the analysis of cross-cultural emotions, studies examine the relationship between color perceptual attributes and color emotions on the lines of cultural influences. 214 color samples were evaluated on 12 emotional variables by subjects from 7 different region groups. It was concluded that chroma and lightness were the most influential factors on color emotion, compared to hue and cultural background. Therefore, the way we view color isn't necessarily impacted by our cultural background. It's more so impacted by our own personal perspective and the way our eyes perceive the reflection of others.
The psychological effects of color on anxiety is a prime part of our study to see the possible interactions between two strangers based on the color that one participant is wearing. In a study done by Wayne H. Holtzman and Ira Isco named Rorschach Color Responses and Manifest Anxiety in College Women, They are trying to determine the effects of anxiety, color, stimulus configuration, order of presentation, and examiner considered singly and in combination upon a large number of Rorschach variables. This research determined that the color red was more stimulating than the multicolored pastel shades. In connection with another study, the color red is also disliked by the unstable men in a military training facility. In this study, the men took the Rorschach card test and were asked which they preferred. The unstable men were unpleasant with the red cards because it reminded them of blood. Also, the cards that were multicolored were liked more than the achromatic cards. This information benefits the hypothesis that positive colors will have more positive interactions than the negative colors. The research done by the Rorschach cards have shown that achromatic cards, or cards without color, are liked less than the cards with more colors. The red cards are more stimulating but might also produce a negative reaction. This is also backed by a study done by Louis B. Wexner in 1954. This study named the degree to which colors hues are associated with the mood tones, works to prove that there is a positive relation between specific colors and mood tones.
The research design. For the study, researchers asked, how does color affect social interaction? Researchers hypothesized that people wearing the colors white, yellow, and blue will participate in the most positive interactions, while the colors red and black will receive less positive interactions. The independent variable for this study is the clothing color, while the dependent variable is interaction time and type, either positive or negative. The research design type is phenomenological research or grounded theory research. This type of research design is best used when a theory is not available to explain a process, or when a theory may be needed to explain how people are experiencing a phenomenon. In this case, that would be their experience to color. Participants. An advertisement will be posted on a babysitting website to volunteer for this study in order to maximize general friendliness of the participants. Participants must be 18 to 25 years of age. The two variables that will categorize this sample are gender and race. A total of 20 volunteer participants will be chosen randomly to get a total of 5 white males, 5 white females, 5 black males, and 5 black females. These will be the 4 subgroups. Measures. This study will take place at a shopping mall. Each participant from each of the subgroups will be assigned one of 5 colors that must be worn throughout their outfits, either blue, yellow, white, black, or red. Most of the outfit should consist of the assigned color, so the distraction from other colors is minimized. For example, a participant that is assigned the color blue can wear something like a blue dress with blue shoes or a matching blue tracksuit. In this study, the meaning of the colors is significant. The negative colors are black and red. Recent research has shown that black can represent evil or menacing, while red can represent anger, aggression, or danger. The positive colors are blue, yellow, and white. Blue can represent calmness and peace, yellow can represent warmth and happiness, and white represents purity. The participants will perform 3 tasks. 1. Approach and greet strangers with a smile. It will be recorded if strangers smile back with a yes or no. 2. Participants will ask strangers, "How was your day?" and strangers' responses will not be recorded for data collection. 3. Participants will ask the strangers to describe their day, and the length of the strangers' responses will be timed. Procedure. All 20 participants from all 4 subgroups will be assigned a different color. Each member will wear a different color from the subgroups, and they will all be placed in different locations in the mall. 2. Participants will approach mall-goers, also known as the strangers. 3. Participants will greet mall-goers with a smile. Participants will make note of the strangers' smile back with a yes or a no. 4. Participants will then ask strangers, "How was your day?" The strangers' responses will not be recorded for data collection. 5. The participants will ask strangers to describe their day, and participants will discreetly time the length of their response. 6. Participants will thank the strangers for their response and explain that they were participating in a psychological study. The strangers will be quickly debriefed by the participants and asked if their information from the study can be used. 7. All 20 participants will approach at least 5 different people, so the total sample size will be 100 people. Data analysis. Researchers will compare the number of smiles received and the length of the interaction between different colors within the subgroup. Researchers will then compare this information between the subgroups. This will help researchers determine if colored clothing affects interactions between strangers. Researchers will calculate the average interaction time between the different colors of each subgroup. For example, the average interaction time for all the participants wearing red shirts will be calculated. Researchers will also calculate the average interaction time within the sample categories. For example, the average interaction time for all the female participants will be calculated. This can help to make steps in determining if colors do in fact affect human behavior. Thank you for watching.